What we are going to do first is I'm going to do Kartikeya or Skanda, whatever we say. What we are going to let me write it over Facebook as well. What we are going to do first is to do a Skanda Stotra from Brahmayamal, sorry, Rudrayamal, which is very powerful and it is told to increase the Medha of the person. I'm going to share it to you people so you can read it with me if you know good Sanskrit. So, what is written is Sri Ganeshaya Namaha Yogishwaro Mahasenah Kartikeyo Agrinandanah Skandah Kumara Senani Swami Sankara Sambhava Gangiyastamrachudaschaha Brahmachari Sikitvajaha Tarakari Maputraha Kaunscharishadhanah Kaunscharishadhanah Sabda Brahma Samudrascha Siddha Sarasvato Guha Sanat Kumaro Bhagavana Bhoga Moksha Phalapadaha Sarajanamana Sarajanama Ganadhisha Urvajo Mukti Margrit Sarvagam Praneta Cha Vanchidartha Pradarshanaha Astavimshati Namani Madhyani Ti Padet Tusham Sabhyayukto Muko Vachaspatar Havet Mahamantramayani Mam Namano Kirtanam Mahapragyam Vapanoti Natakarya Vicharana. Right. So I think my advice will be to write it down, pause the video, write it down, and do it every day. You start reading. This is Skanda Hora, right? Skanda Hora. Let me give you an introduction. The text is not available, first of all. It was like no one saw it. If I am going to be very frank, no one saw this text. Right? In the Kaikulankara Ram Warriors commentary on Viraj Jatak, known as Hirdayavada, he quoted relevant portions of Skanda Hora. The text is completely in Malayalam. My guru compiled that and produced a book that is available to be purchased, but you have to contact my guru. I don't sell the book. Whichever shlokas he quoted, Gurudev divided it into 10 chapters. The chapter 1 is the nature of science. Chapter 2 is the nature of planets. Chapter 3 is sign planet result. Chapter 4 is house planet result. In these 4 chapters, the complete basic of Jyotish is done and dusted. That's the reason I started this course with only 1 day prior notice. The best course for the beginners, right? Every basic nature of sign planet result, house planet result is all done and dusted. You are complete with the basic. After that, from chapter 5 onwards, it deals with special combinations, Raja Yoga, that gives what high level of professional achievements. Other than that, there is a combination of impregnation, birth, longevity, female horoscopy, and shape of Trikana. I will like you to comment if you already knew that there is a separate astrology for women. This is what I have found. 80% of the astrologers are unaware of the fact that the chart of the woman are to be read in a different way. Then people say Vedic doesn't work. It is not supposed to if you don't know how the things go. Female horoscope is entirely different. The combinations are different. The houses are different. Sometimes counted in reverse. Sometimes counted in direct motion. So the compilation of Gurudev, we are taking that. Thanks to the Gurudev. Om Dakshinamurtaya Namaha. We should always do in the mind. Dakshinamurti is the form of Shiva that is taken as Guru. And Om Dakshinamurtaya Namaha. The first shloka is Satyanuttam Mitam Chakramanalambhe Navastale. ज्योतिषामेकमाधार मास्तं परिवर्तते इतः परिवहिनेदं ततश्च प्राणमुत्थितं नाप्रतः पतति क्वापि नेमिश्च नमति क्वचित्. I will go this way, reading the shloka first, then the meaning, then add it to my explanation, right? Because shloka and meaning is also available in the text. The translation is: the wheel is upheld by truth in the sky, which is in turn upheld without any support. It is the single support of the stars and planets. It remains steady and rotates. Due to gravity, neither does it fall even a little from the sky, nor does its rim bend a little. They are talking about, if you go to Siddhanta text, they are of the opinion that Vishnu Chakra is there in the sky, which keeps on rotating. And from that rotation, like it is like fan, so from that rotation, air will go up in the upwards direction that upholds the planets, etc. The same philosophy is talked about here, just to indicate that the author is well aware of all the Siddhanta, etc. As we are taking the author as Skanda himself, the son of Shiva and Parvati, there should be no confusion that he is well versed with every system of astrology. The complete Samudrika, the science of reading body, hand, etc. from the science of reading body and hand and then predicting results based on that is also credited to Skanda only. So he is not only an expert in astrology, he is also an expert in body sciences. Right? And it is without any support. Let me tell you something here. This chakra is very similar to Vishnu. That's why we imagine Kala Purusha as Vishnu only. And if you don't know, let me tell you the fact that the discuss of Vishnu, the Sudarshan Chakra, he took an avatar by the name of Kartaviri Arjuna. And many astrologers recommend the mantra of Kartaviri Arjuna. Specifically, if something gets stolen and you want to find it, the mantra of Kartaviri Arjuna is quite potent in that. First uses and the second uses is someone left the home. If someone ran out of the home, then also Kartaviri Arjuna mantra is very powerful. The most strongest remedy for Kartaviri Arjuna is Deepdanam. And Deepdanam is almost the best remedy for disease and black magic. So just an off-topic thing. It is the single support of the planet. This line does also indicate that it is only Mahavishnu. This comes in Jatak Sardip. Jatak Sardip will ask you a very good question, that when Narayana is the supreme Brahman, then why we are going to why we are going to worship the planets? What is the reason behind worshipping the planets when Narayana is everything? The author of the author of Jatak Sardip, Nrasingha Devagya, himself answers it that grahas are also the avatar incarnation of Narayana only. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whoever God you worship, the worship comes to me only. The same thing is true with planets as well. It doesn't matter you worship planets or anything. The worship goes to Vishnu only. This fact is hinted here that it is the single support of all the planets and stars. So all the nakshatras, all the planets and everything works under the strict leadership of Vishnu only. Hence, there are two important lessons. This I told in the first class of Jyotish Prarambha as well. And I'm feeling in the same virgin way as I am starting Jyotish Prarambha once again. Right? So the first lesson that I taught in Jyotish Prarambha was this only. The grahas are the form of Narayan, Janardhan, Sri Vishnu. Never ever take the name of a planet with disrespect. I have seen multiple astrologers abusing planet Sala, Sani, damn Saturn. Don't do this. You are abusing Narayan. Be careful. If Narayan starts abusing you, you will be nowhere. Be careful. Be careful. Respect the planets as you respect Vishnu. And a special hint that we got here is planets only indicate results. They are not causative of any karma. So the Saturn is technically not responsible for anything. Saturn just indicates the karma that you did in the previous life. So knowing what you did in the previous life is what astrology does. And predicting what should be the outcome in this life is the speculative part of astrology. Technical part is reading the karma. Speculative part is predicting what is going to happen. Right? There is one very important hint related to remedies as well. As the planet indicates the karma, and they don't do any karma. Saying this, that this result is happening because of this planet, and I cannot change it. Forget this philosophy completely. They are just indicative of karma. They are not going to control you. Graha, the translation of graha is the one who holds you. Graha wo hai jo grasat kar leta hai. This meaning becomes obsolete here. Planet is not going to catch you and force you to do something. It is just indicative of what you did in the previous life, and consecutively will also tell what should happen in this life. The rule is very simple: an eye for an eye. But consciously, by austerities and hard work, if you raise yourself above the standards of the planets, devoting yourself to Sri Vishnu, in that scenario, the effect of planets get controlled to a great extent. This is what every spiritual person will say. I am reminded of one thing that Thakur always used to say, that someone once came to Hanuman and asked, what is the Tithi today? So Hanuman said, I don't know what is the Tithi, I don't know what is the date, I don't know what is the weekday. I only know one name, that is Rama. Right? So never ever think that this planet is here and it is going to cause this. Consciously, you can detach yourself from the result and can change it. This is the prime reason spiritual remedies are given most importance in Jyotish. But equally potent remedies which are not spiritual can also be used. The prime motive is not letting the planet motivate you to do something. I will not use the word control. I will use the word motivate. You did a certain karma that the planet indicates, and the planet have a nature, and that nature motivates you to do something. If you can control that motivation, you can certainly control the result. Controlling the motivation is the key for any remedy. The astrologer who knows this, according to my opinion, will never say that astrologers have a bad life. This is what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. To deal with senses, there are two ways. You can either fulfill what the senses want. It is like giving clarified butter to the burning fire. It will go on burning more and more. If you hold back your senses, the fire will get extinguished. First, this is not a remedy for a client. This is the remedy for an astrologer. Remember, this is chapter 1. This is how astrologers can go above astrology. Hold yourself to not get indulged in what the planet wants from you. A debilitated Venus does indicate a deep desire of having someone to love. Controlling it, detaching yourself from it, will lead you to one of the greatest results, where one person in your life will come by the blessing of Vishnu, resurrect, and then there is no side effect for the debilitated Venus. But if you don't realize what Narayan wants and indulge yourself in the motivation given by Venus, then one more life is waiting for you. So mind this thing, that prime purpose of studying astrology is that we can rise above the motivations, the karma, and the force given by planets. This is what reading astrology with a guru, should I use this word? Let me. This is the importance of learning astrology with one who is experienced enough. I am not quite comfortable with the word guru. Right. So this is the importance. One shloka is too in depth. It is dependent on your importance, how in depth you can take it. Vyakhya buddhi balavaksha. For a normal commentator, this will be useless shloka, but this is the most important shloka for an astrologer on how you can rise above the domain of planets. My translation for the word Chakramanalambi should be, my translation for the word Chakramanalambi would be taking the alamban of the chakra, taking the refuge in the chakra of Sri Vishnu. You can raise above the level of planets. Take refuge, then it remains steady and rotates. One very important thing. Jyotisha Mekamadara Mastatam Privartate. It remains steady. It remains steady and rotates. What does it mean? It also essentially means that if you don't detach yourself from the motivation given by that planet, no remedy is going to work because it is steady. You cannot move it. You cannot create ripples in it and try to change its direction. It is sthira, steady. Until and unless you yourself detach with the help of Narayan, there will be no other remedy that is going to rescue you. And this is the prime motivation why I call it Jyotish consultation. And I don't use any another word. This is the difference between consultation and forecasting. Forecasting is mere telling you the events that this event is going to happen. But remember, it is Parampara consultation. Why consultation? You should consciously change the thinking of the native, helping him. Native or the person. Native is equal to person, right? In astrology, we refer to the client as native. Jatak. Although native is not a good word, because native means property. But still, maybe the person whose property is this chart. To become a good astrologer, keep this in your mind always. My Gurudev said that if you are going to be a successful astrologer, wear the same dress every day. Joking. He always told you in a joking style that if you are wishing to be a good astrologer, wear the same dress every day. To create an image towards which the native will be attracted to. My guru was not very spiritual, he was a modern spiritual guy. And he always told me that all these things told for an astrologer, that you should have this tika on your head and all these different ornaments that an astrologer should have, that the astrologer should carry a certain dress, etc., is only because to create an impression, create an image, that your words will hit the mind of the native. It is only for this reason. That's why in Kerala, it is very necessary that the astrologer knows grammar, prosody, logic, mantra, everything. The real remedy will work when you will change the mindset of the native, first of all. will induce a new emotion in his mind, will take him above the level, and then give him something. Then the thing will become. What I want to say by this, someone whom you know is going to have a bad mental life. In a consultation, first of all, I will make them believe that you can control it. Make them believe that this problem is because of you. Make them believe that you can change it. Make them believe that Narayan is with you. After that, the remedy is going to work. Without this mental alibi, no remedy is going to work. Be very firm on this. The first process is advice, taking the native above the standards of thinking using any way. That's why Parashara will tell you know what Parashara will tell you? Parashara will tell you that someone who doesn't believe in God, you should not give him a consultation. Why? Why you should not give him consultation? Because he will not be able to rise above the level of the planets. He will not be able to. I was talking to one of my friend today, and he said, "What is your opinion on all this sadhana, etc. kind of things?" My opinion is very simple: that the human mind is very weak. He needs support of deities, gods. He needs the support of deities and gods. The support of an invisible Godfather who is with you. If someone doesn't believe in this concept, it is very difficult to make any remedy work for him. He is doomed to go with the motivation of the planets and face every result that is going to happen. The prime reason is uplifting his mind, taking the ashray of, taking the dependency of the chakra of Vishnu. Due to gravity, the word due to gravity. Neither does it fall even a little from the sky, nor does it rim bend a little. The Skanda is saying that even though gravity is there, even though gravity is there, the chakra is not going to fall, neither is going to bend, even a little. None of these things is ever going to happen. Right? Now, the chakra or the Vishnu is not going to, the steady chakra is Vishnu. And he is not going to get motivated by all these gemstones and everything that you're doing. He's only going to get motivated by your karma and a prayer from a sincere heart. If the sincere heart is not there, my friend, believe me, Vishnu is also not there. Sincere heart have to be there for Vishnu to come. The word used in the shloka is Nabradah Patati, falls from the sky. Also indicative of how the soul, which was one with Narayan, engaged with Maya and fell down. I wrote an article, Karma the Endless Chain. If you are more interested in this topic, you should go there. And there I have discussed a genuine question: what is the source for the first karma? The source for the first karma is from a desire. From the desire of a small body cell of why I cannot become a body. The desire to enjoy. That is the patati, falling down. The soul falls down. You should control yourself from falling down. Falling down where? Falling down, pray to the motivations of planet. The first shloka, take this from me. The first shloka in any classic is for the astrologer to contemplate. The first shloka in any classic is for the astrologer to contemplate. Other shlokas are Jyotish. But the first shloka is advice. Think on the first shloka as much as you can. This line, Satya Nuttam Vitam Chakravanalambena Navastale, Jyotish me Kamadara Mastitam Privartate, Itaha Parivahenedam, Tatastipod Muttitam, Napratah Mutati Kapi, Nameist Namati Kuchit. This shloka I can explain you for 6 hours, next 6 hours. It's so in depth. Every word in a shloka, my friend, let me tell you, every word in a shloka is potent of multiple interpretations. And all the interpretations will open a new domain in front of you. That's why my guru always told me, Vyakhya buddhi vala vaksya. Interpretation is as powerful as the mind of the one who is interpreting it. The third and fourth shlokas are Safayarāditya Saptinam Chunnameta Daharnisham Rathya Pansu Rattalamapi Nodagirti Kochinnatat Bhumi Rupadаттena Chapo Namarusaka Vayur Chakinnu Deoresha Sushti Vilakshana. Even though it is trampled upon day and night by the hooves of the 7 horses of the sun, still not even little dust falls from it anywhere. The wheel of Zodiac is not constituted of earth, water, fire, or even wind. What to say then of the sky, which is itself distinct from material creation? This is a place where misinterpretation can happen and happen. You must be knowing something as such as Suri Subdhandayanam Shat Sahara. Varanasi people do this. Such shlokas are present in every classic. And their interpretation is, and this is also in Agora. This is also what many Tantrikas also believe. That the sky talked about here is not the real sky, but is a hypothetical sky. I don't think so. Spiritual shlokas should be interpreted spiritually. Vishnu having 8 hands should not be taken as that he is really having 8 hands. I'm yet to see a man with 8 hands. It does mean that his mind have the capacity of thinking at 8 things at the same time. Our minds can only think on one thing at a time. Some people cannot even think at one thing at a time. The shloka says that even though it is trampled upon day and night, chakra is rotating. And because of the rotation of this chakra, day and night happens. And over this chakra, the 7 horses of sun runs. Seven horses are indicative of the 7 planets. And this is an important lesson. In all the Rishi Hora, in all the A grade Jyotish classic, I will repeat the word. In all A grade Jyotish classic, you will find almost no shloka on Rahu Ketu. Almost no. Very hard to find 1 or 2 shloka here and there. Not more than that. Prime planets are the 7 only. The 7 horses of the sun. Sun here should not be taken as the astronomical sun. Sun here should be taken as the Narayana. Sun as Narayan. Surya Aditya. The Vishnu, the chariot of Vishnu is running with the help of these 7 horses. These 7 horses are the 7 planets, which indicates the 7 motivations. So taken very important lesson here, and every word that I am saying right now If it is new for you, write it down. Otherwise, you will not be able to follow any classic. That's why I have chosen Skanda Hora. I had many options by the way. But Skanda Hora for its depth in the philosophy. The ichha, the desire of a Narayan is taken, what to say, खींचा जाता है. Narayan chooses these 7 horses, the 7 planets, to give you the result of your karmas. Now I want to ask you a question. With this much clear shloka, do you find that Rahu Ketu should indicate karma? If Rahu Ketu are indicating karma, there should be 9 horses. Why there are 7 only? This is what we did in Brigu yesterday. The dispositor will always be one of the 7 planets, not the 2. Rashi indicates the heap of karma. Rashi indicates the heap of karma. And with this shloka, which clearly states that by the 7 horses, Safairadit Saptinam, 7. The chariot is pulled by 7 horses. Only 7. The karma is into Rashi. Rashi is the heap of karma. Rashi means weight. The weight of karma that is burdened on your shoulders. It is pulled by 7 horses only, 7 planets only. Three things very important here. First of all, only 7 planets should indicate your karma. Rahu Ketu should not. Point 1. Other planets also should not. They should work as a catalyst only, indicating, there's a very good shloka. Ketu, whenever he sits with any planet, tries the signification of the planet. Ketu, when he sits with a planet, he will give thrice the result of that planet. This is a shloka from some classic. Ketu is multiplied by 3. This is what Rahu, Ketu, and other planets, Gulika, Mandi, Kala Mrityu, Yamakantak, Ardhaprahar, Pardhi, Indrajap, Dhumavitipat will do. They will not indicate a new karma. They will just tell you the quantity, the plus or minus in the karma should not indicate the karma. This is the first lesson you should take from these 7 horses. Number 2, because these 7 horses only indicate karma, that is the reason why there are only 7 lords of the 12 Rashis. The concept of Rahu is the ruler of Aquarius and Scorpio is ruled by Ketu. Forget about it. It is not authorized by sages. Why? The shloka is in front of you, right? This was my prime motivation behind taking a classic. You should know which inference we made from which place. In the previous shloka, if we go, you will see. I should show you the text for a minute. Here, Satya Noktam Vitam Chakra Manalambe Navastale, Jyotishameka Madhara Mastatam Privartate, Itah Parivahenedam, Tatascha Pradamuttitam, Napratha Patati Kapi, Nemischa Namati Kachit. Single support of stars and planets. Here the stars are also used, the nakshatras. And in just the next shloka, it is Safairadit Sapti Nam Chinmed Dharmeshrathya, Pasurantil Mapi, Nodagirti Kochinnadam. Hooves of the 7 horses of sun. Previously, right here, there was the mention of planets, but as well as stars. The 27 stars, the image is in the stars only. And when you club 2.1 star together, you get a new image. And that image is the image of a Rashi. That image is the image of a Rashi. Stars, the nakshatras, makes the Rashis. Hence, you should be very clear that by the mention of the 7 horses, there are only the 7 lords of the Rashis, as well as only the 7 lords of the nakshatras. This is what we did in Bhrigu yesterday. In complete Bhrigu system, those who attended Bhrigu, have you found any nakshatras mentioned as ruled by Rahu Ketu? No. This is the prime reason. Sage cannot go against the sage. And every person teaching Bhrigu and telling you that the Rahu and Ketu indicates the heavy karma should contemplate on from where they have learned. Well, the classics and the classical philosophy is very clear, and it should not be contradictory. This is what I say, contradictory opinion. The knowledge comes from Shiva, and he is the son of Shiva. And the same knowledge will get distributed to all the sages. So any text given the name of a sage, if the text tells you that Ketu rules Ashwini, you should be very clear that this is not in accordance with what is the original teaching from the tradition. And because it is not matching the teaching of the tradition, it should be unauthentic, non-authentic, should not be taken as authentic. Getting my point? When Shriman Mahavishnu is the prime one whose avatar is Rama, any text which is saying that Rama is the supreme god and Vishnu is his avatar, what you should say? Contradicting the opinion and contradicting the philosophy, which should not be the case. This is what Jignaji told me to comment. There is a shloka in Vaishnavism, Krishna astu Bhagavan Swayam. And people translate it as that Krishna is the supreme god. That is okay. It is told that Krishna is the supreme god. That is fine. But it will never be told that the supreme god is the avatar of Krishna. Remember it. Vishnu takes incarnation as Krishna. Krishna will never take incarnation as Vishnu. There is a strict philosophical thinking pattern which cannot be contradicted under any circumstances. This is my prime reason behind saying anything as unauthentic. Is it very clear? Are there any questions? This is the depth, my friend. This is the depth of a single line. And this is what you cannot get from a book. The book is in front of you. You read the shloka. You read the Gurudev's translation. Here is the word meaning is given. And after that, the second shloka starts. And there is only written Saptina, one word. Hooves of 7 horses, one word. The next shloka will start. But the depth of this Saptina, this one word, the depth of this one Saptina is so high and so great that I have been explaining you since the last 13-14 minutes later. This is the depth of the classic that you only get when you are from the Parampara. Otherwise, you will simply say it is the description of the chariot of sun. But what is the use of giving the description of chariot of sun in such a text? This is not a text on puja paddhati. This is not a text on how to make the image of Surya for worship. This is a text on astrology. This is why you should learn from the Parampara, to get the depth. And this is why we have started with this. Let's learn the Vedic astrology in the Vedic way. Yes, Hemantji, we are just coming to the next part. Still, not even little dust falls from it anywhere. I have a question now. If I worship Narayan so much, will Narayan change my karma? The answer is this. Not even a little dust will fall. Narayan will never come and play, never come and change what is in the store for you. Don't go to Narayan because you want to change something. Driving Narayan, he is Lakshmipati, he is the Lord of Lakshmi, the Lord of blessings. How can you bribe him? Before giving a bribe to Vishnu, check the bank account of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam and you will know that you cannot bribe him. Jokes apart, not even a little dust falls. He will not dabble with your karma. He will never dabble with your karma. Don't go to him with a mean motivation. Go to him with a high motivation. For upliftment, not for your mean desires. He will not do that. This is the simple answer. Can God change your fortune? No. He will not. Because not even a little speck of dust will fall. Leave the blessing which is like a flower. Even dust will not fall. Go to the God to uplift yourself. Don't go for a mean desire. There can be one more interpretation of the same. That will be nothing that happens in this life is not governed by planets. I am pretty sure that almost every one of you is aware of Prashna, horary astrology. What is the philosophy behind horary astrology? The philosophy behind horary astrology is that every moment, even the moment when a question comes to your mind, is controlled by planets. That is the prime philosophy, right? A question comes to my mind at 10:40 a.m. Yes, today. I make a prashna for 10:40 a.m. and that prashna gives the answer. Not even a little speck of dust falls is also indicative of the fact that nothing in human life is not governed by planets. Or in other words, everything in human life, the food you eat, the bed you sleep, the relationship you will have, everything is governed by the planets. There is nothing that is not governed by the planets, not even a speck of dust in life. This wheel of zodiac is not constituted of earth, water, fire, or even wind. The zodiac is not made up of the glitch there. भूमि रूपा दत्तेन चापो न मृत्सका वायोर्न च किन्नु दयोरैषा सृष्टि विलक्षणा. The wheel of the zodiac is not constituted of earth, water, fire, or even wind. What to say then of the sky, which is itself distinct from material creation? The zodiac is not made up of the five elements. It is beyond above all the five elements. It is made up of Vishnu. Right? The zodiac, the sky, is not made up of those elements by which body is made. Also indicative of that the planets govern a certain tendency, but the planets themselves are not controlled of it. This is what I have written in my The Endless Chain Karma article. You can read it on my website. It is on my website, yeah. Why Sriman Mahavishnu is a Bhagavan and we are not? And there is a simple answer for that. When Vishnu becomes angry, his anger doesn't affect him. In complete astrology, the Pancharatra philosophy is followed. And Pancharatra philosophy, you will get in Narad Pancharatra and in Lakshmi Tantra. The Pancharatra philosophy says that Vishnu is endowed with Triguna and Panchatattva. And he comes together with the Triguna and Panchatattva and creates this universe. But he himself is not affected by this. He himself is above this. The same thing is also indicated here. That the Panchatattva that controls you cannot control Narayana. Narayan coming in this world is his own wish, his own desire. He's not binded by this world or anything from this world. Spiritually, it also means that anything that you can offer to Narayan is not of his use. Any fruit that you are going to him, he's not the one who will eat this. He is far beyond all these things. The next shloka is Tasya Samstanamascharya Mrishya Parimarganaha Prastita Nivartante Sradvi Kalpalakshaneha Tamaha Kusumayuthani Vivartye Taditastataha Amlanani Sugandhini Keshabhusha Pinakina. The sages who set out searching for its wonder arousing support do not return even after a kalpa. Kalpa is 4,032 crore years. The sages who went on to find which thing, what is the thing that supports this complete zodiac, never returned back. Do you remember the story from Agni Puran? Sorry, do you remember the story from Shiva Puran of the Jyotirlinga that first came in front of Vishnu and Brahma? It was a beam of light. They went on searching above and below and they found nothing. The same beam of light is the support of this Kala Chakra. It is Vishnu whose discus is rotating, and it is Shiva on whom it is supported on. It is a confluence between both of them. And my first spiritual guru, my maternal grandfather, always told me that in Bhagavad, it is clearly written that anyone who finds a difference between Shiva and Vishnu is the most moodha person on this planet. Moodha na jananti. Vishnu Shiva ek hai. Fools don't know that we are one. Fools don't know that we are one. Vishnu and Shiva are one together. To find it also indicates, it is also indicative of the same thing that I wrote in my article, Karma and the Endless Chain. To know from where the karma started and to know where the karma ends, it will never happen. That's why I always say that don't try to predict the last life. This is the biggest mistake you will do as an astrologer, because when the sages, the shloka is very clear, when the sages set out searching for its wonder arousing support, they do not return even after 4,032,000 years. So if you want to know this is your past life or not, you should learn astrology for 4,032,000 years. Sadly, that is not your life span. Yes, Vinagiji, either you worship Shiva or either you worship Vishnu. They both are one. Shiva explicitly said to Parvati, Parvati, ask Shiva that why you are always smiling. She said, because I think of Rama, how beautiful he is. And when Rama was smiling, Sita asked him, why you are smiling without me? He said, because I am constantly thinking of Shiva, who is ever graceful. They both are Mosere Bhai. They both are the same things. Same. Yes, Hemantji, please ask.
Yeah, just one question is crossing my mind with regards to the previous shloka. You mentioned that Vishnu is beyond the Pancha Tattva. I'm just putting it in my words. So, do we approach astrology with regards to Advaita or Dvaita? What is a better approach? And you know what? Okay, sorry, yeah.
This no, yes, please go, yeah.
Boliye. This is the basic point I just wanted to ask.
I also want to listen to the second question.
Yeah, so if we approach with the point of view of Advaita, then there is oneness with Vishnu. And if Dvaita, then there is a separation. Then how do you bridge this,
We, in the Pancharatra philosophy, actually, the thing with philosophy is we only know two things, Dvaita, Advaita. And this Dvaita, Advaita concept came after Shankaracharya. And Shankaracharya is human, considered as Shiva avatar. But it is not the philosophy by sages. Sages believe in Pancharatra, Sankhya, Vaisheshik, Darshan.
Right.
These darshanas do not differentiate between Shiva and Vishnu. Neither differentiates between the human. The concept of Dvaita and Advaita doesn't come. It is all like that the two gods are the one. God is present everywhere. So the concept of God in this world comes after Shankaracharya, comes after the inclusion of Dvaita and Advaita philosophy. The sages don't approach the subject like this. They are like, we are humans, everyone else is human. The God is there, he will not come to this world, we will not go to that world. We did the karmas, we will keep on doing the karmas. The mukti from karma is dependent on the will of Vishnu. Our only target is to get the benevolence of Vishnu so he can take us away of this Maya. So Dvaita and Advaita, their concept is that we can, by conscious effort, go beyond the Maya. However, the philosophy of the sages, that darshan is very clear that we, by our will, cannot go beyond the veil of the Maya. This is Mahavishnu, who, when he will become gracious, can take us out. Otherwise, we, under no means, can go out.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome. I will recommend to Lakshmi Tantra, Narad Pancharatra, and Kapila Sankhya Darshan and Vaisheshik Darshan. These 4 books I will share in the group. Interested people, please go through it.
I would love to go
of the philosophy for sages and for other people are entirely completely different. Okay, yeah. So my point of not predicting this is the last life, first life, which life, don't do using astrology. The answer of Hemant's question is also right here. Tasya samsthan mascharya. Tasya किसके संस्थान किस पे टिका है माश्चर्य आश्चर्य के साथ मृषयः परिमार्गिणः प्रस्थितान निर्वतन्ते श्रद्धेः कल्पलक्षणे. Even in billions of years they were not able to find where it is situated. So the conscious effort of that I can go beyond this Maya, I can do this, I can do that, is never possible. It is only Vishnu who by his grace can take you out. You by yourself cannot do it. And every spiritualist, you know what? Normal people, I always say this in spirituality, normal people with the ignorance will say, this is my last life. I want to achieve my last life. Even Ramakrishna Paramahans told that I will come again as a bowl. He told this in Vachanamrit. When person of his status is saying that I will come, he's indicative of the fact that you cannot go out. Even Vishnu is binded by Kalki Avatar. Vishnu himself cannot go out. He himself said, Yada yada hi dharmasya, glanir bhavati bharataha, abhyutthanam dharmasya, tadatmanyam srajamyam. Yada yada hi dharmasya, whenever dharma will fall, glanir bhavati bharataha, whenever the dharma will be ridiculed, I will come. Vishnu, once he comes to this world, cannot stop coming. The avatars, when they come to this world, cannot stop coming. How can we? By our conscious effort, we cannot go above. We can only pray for Mahavishnu to take his Maya above, and we go to him. The philosophy of sages will tell you that everyone will get salvation when the Kalpa will end. This is the primary reason why we have this Chatu Yuga, Satyuga, Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. Once the dissolution will come, every creature will die and will go back to Narayana. Then Brahma will make another world and every soul will come back. Yes, David ji.
Sir, मेरा सवाल ये है, this is in reference to one of the statements you made a while ago. अब आपने बोला कि there is no point in going back to our past life. Now, there is somebody, जिनसे I mean, I was reading some of his articles, and वो बोलते हैं कि we can identify our past deeds, जो हमने गलतियां की हैं. So he also goes on to say that I predicted in 1930s आपके इन्होंने ये किया होगा, इसकी वजह से आपको ये हुआ होगा, and they also confirm. Now, is it possible? मतलब उस तरह की depth हम देख सकते हैं क्या इससे? Can we see that level of details कि आपके grandfather ने या grandfather के grandfather ने कुछ किया होगा, or ये हुआ होगा, because of that your lineage is having a problem? Is it practically possible?
I have a four-way answer for this. First of all, let me recognize the fact that whatever person writes is somehow for the publicity, so that more clients can come, people will read this and will take a consultation.
Perfect. That is the bang on one. That's the right one.
First thing. Secondly, let me come out of the philosophy and see the truth. This is what the sage advice. This is, what my guru said, that I am a Malayali and Sankaracharya is a Malayali and I don't follow Sankaracharya. I will highly condemn him. This is what Gurudev said. Not my words. Both are Malayalis. Why? Do you understand something here? Do you understand something here? We, by our conscious effort, cannot change anything. It is the grace of Narayan which will come and change things. Right? Even though, what is this complete process? Looking at the truth. I don't know. I'm not going to make a comment on Sankaracharya, of course not. But somehow, Advait gives you a sense of I can change things. Let me tell you, we cannot even stop bathroom for 1 hour. Leave the control over life. It is only Mahavishnu who can control it. The sage is taking you one-on-one with truth. Let me come one-on-one to the truth on this topic. What is the truth? Anything that cannot be justified cannot be taken as truth. Any person who claims that he did this in a previous life, what is the concrete thing based on which you will tell me that this result is true. When such things are not there, it is just a mere fantasy. And telling fantasy, teaching fantasy, I should not comment on that thing, right? But if the results are non-replicable, if it cannot be proved, there is no use in telling that or entertaining someone with respect to that. The second thing. The third thing, when you cannot go back in time and change the karma, contemplation will do nothing. The only remedy to end your karma is to commit a suicide right now. Otherwise, there is no remedy to end the karma. You can only escape, you cannot end it. Someone did suppose my grandfather did a sin in 1950. You think that big sin is going to get ended by one simple thing? Rama shot an arrow at Bali, hiding behind the bushes. And Krishna got shot in his feet when he was resting under a tree, because the shikari, the person who went on hunting, mistook the thumb of Krishna for the nose of a deer. Even Sriman Mahavishnu have to give an eye for an eye. Rama shot from the back, Krishna got shot from the back. Both are under bushes. The remedy of the karma is equally difficult karma. That's why I always motivate suffering. Because if you think that the sin of killing someone can get elevated by giving 2,000 rupees to a temple, I don't know in which world we are living. Let me face truth. The punishment for a death, for a murder, is death sentence. Nothing else, nothing less. This is what Vishnu himself wants to illustrate. Cheating is equal to cheating. There is no way to bribe Shri Vishnu. Let me not go into this trap of wearing a panna will take you out of the curse. Of course not. It is karma. Yeah?
आप लोगों की दुकान बंद करा दोगे बस.
फैक्ट्री के लोगों के पास दुकान बनाए. Right. All these things are, I have just three things. First of all, anything that anyone does is dependent on, this is basic thing. That is why a spiritualist will never tell you that he is a spiritualist. The real yogi, sadhu and aghori will never come out on YouTube and will tell you, see, I am a sadhu and aghori, please subscribe my channel, like my video, comment here. No, it is not going to happen, first of all. Right? Ramakrishna, when till the time he was alive, he never told to make a institution in my name. Because then people will start coming and misusing. Firstly, though, everything done nowadays is a public stunt. Be it anyone. Some people choose to remain true with their souls. Some people choose not to. And secondly, that level of achievement. Let me understand something more. The horoscope indicates everything. You should have my horoscope, my father's horoscope, my grandfather's horoscope, and the horoscope of their wives and all of their children's. And using all these 15, 16 horoscopes, you have to reconstruct a karma. And people claiming this are even not capable of predicting when you will get a child. I always say this, to predict a karma is very easy, but to predict when you will get married is very difficult. Because fantasy anyone can sell. Truth needs courage. These are the people who will say that because you cut your hair, your marks get pacified. This is what Kabir said. Pattar pooje hari mile, main to pooje pahad. If worshipping a stone gives you hari, I am ready to worship a complete mountain. That doesn't happen. This is the only thing this shloka is specifically intended on. Don't try to find the start and end of the karma. Don't try to go past, future, here and there. Deal with the chart in front of you. And don't try to find what is the past life karma. I will find that and remedy that. Or what will happen in the next life. No, don't try to. Because sages, when they, because there is one thing, na. There is one thing, contemplate on it. I am not having child because in my previous life, because my grandfather killed a child. My grandfather killed his child because his grandfather did this, and his grandfather did this, and his grandfather did this. How much back you can go? Because every karma is a reaction of another karma. Every karma is a reaction of another karma, right? It is like you are finding the base particle for a you are going to find the minutest part in a body. Even cell is divided into 4. How minute you can go? It will, if we are going to do this level of astrology, I'm very afraid that in your life of 80 years, you can only see one chart. That is what is going to happen. Because first of all, you will see my chart, then my father's chart, then father's father, father's father's father, father's father's father. How many fathers you will take into account? This is why it is useless to go beyond karmas. Because karma is a never-ending story. First of all, you should find that what was my name in Treta Yuga. Can you find my name in Treta Yuga? Because Kali Yuga started with the first karma. And since the start of Kali Yuga, how many years have passed by? We are in 2020, right? One life, suppose 70 years. If one life is 70 years, then 2020 divided by 70 is equal to 28. 30 horoscopes you need. 30 horoscopes for me. First of all, you need. And in 30 horoscopes, there are Shadavarga. 480 horoscopes you have to see. 480 horoscopes for one karma. I think it's quite a big deal. You should not invest money here. It is a loss. Yeah. The next, I will read the shloka once again. Tasya samsthanamascharya mrishyah parimarganah prastitana nirvatante sradvihi kalpalakshanayah tamah kusamayuthani vivarte taditastatah amlanani sugandhini keshabhushah pinaginah. And one more thing. Krishna himself says that in every life, I wipe the memory of the person who struck on. You don't, there is no trace of what you did in the previous life that you can know. Krishna himself is there, who said it in Bhagavad Gita, BG. Only the Siddha Purus can know what happened in his previous life. And if you become a Siddha Purus, you are not interested in these mere funny things. The sages who set out searching for its wonder-arousing support do not return even after a kalpa. Multitude of undecaying and sweet-smelling flowers. Multitude of undecaying and sweet-smelling flowers. Stars, which are the ornaments of the hair of Shiva, are scattered here and there on this path. Multitude of undecaying and sweet-smelling flowers, which are the ornament of the hairs of Shiva, are scattered here and there on this path. Undecaying is nakshatra, which doesn't fall, doesn't decay, doesn't change anything, remains the same and constant. So he is telling you to imagine. Have you seen Nataraj? His hairs are like this, above in the sky. The complete black sky that you see behind me, that you see above, is the hairs of Shiva. And these different stars are flowers on his hair. This is what you see in Nataraj. All the students of my guru had a Nataraj idol by their table where they do consultation. Unfortunately, I don't have. But these figures in the consultation room reminds you of these basic philosophies. undecaying flowers. Nakshatras are the flowers in the hair of Shiva. The complete zodiac is the hair of Shiva. He tells it, he talks about it in a very philosophical manner. What do we understand by flower? The flowering of karma. How the karmas will flower is indicated by planet in the chart. What is the karma may or may not be indicated. By next month end, 28th of September, there's going to be a new course by 28th of September on the karma, completely in accordance with the Vedic philosophy. This shloka, and that's why I wanted to have the 1 month free for this course, because I want you not to be fooled by these stories again. Let's have the concept very clear. Why the example of flower is taken? He must have taken any other example, not in the hair of Shiva or anything. Why he suddenly jumps from Shiva, Vishnu to Shiva? The stars are the flowers in the hair of Shiva, and I told you in the starting itself that there is no separate concept of Rashi. There is only different stars. Clubbing those stars together, you get nakshatras. Clubbing those nakshatras together, you get Rashis. There is no special and separate concept of Rashi. The example of flower, the word used specifically in accordance with the word Tama Kusumo Yuthani. Kusum, flower. Flower, this is the greatness of Sanskrit language. And I think I told it in one of the previous things. Yeah. This is what I mentioned somewhere earlier also. The richness of the language is seen through how many words are used to illustrate or say a simple thing. A word can be referred to by 8-9 words. Istri, Jaya, Vanita, Ubjika, Shodashi. Multiple words are there. The specific word kusum means blossomed flower. It is not pushpa. Pushpa is Sanskrit word as well, right? This is the depth of the language that you get with me or from the Parampara. I should rather use the word Parampara, not the word me. Why a specific word is used? Vanita also means flower, right? Why he is not using the word Vanita? Tamaha Vanite Yuthani. The shloka is all perfect. Let me see the other words. I'm just changing the word Kushum. I am changing it, right? Tamaha Vanite Yuthani. All fine. Tamaha Vanite Yuthani Vivartet. All fine. Tamaha Pushpe Yuthani. All okay. Why he used the word Kusum only? Indicative of a specific aspect of. A lady is also called Vanita. Vanita means beauty. He is also called Jaya, the one who can be won over. But the Jaya word will only be used for unmarried lady, not for the one who is married, because she is already won over. Someone already won over her, right? The Jaya word will only be for young lady. Kubjika is for 8-year-old lady. Shodashi is for 16 years old lady. I cannot refer to my elder sister as Shodashi because she is 32, not 16. I can only refer, this is the greatness of Sanskrit language. Just by the reference, you can know the age of the person as well. The uses of the word kusum means blossomed flower is also indicative of that all the nakshatras and conversely all the rashis are blossomed flower, which means planets only indicate how the results of your karma are going to manifest in this life. They don't indicate the real karma that you did. This is what Varamihir will also say. This is what Varahamihir will also say, that by astrology, by the uses of astrology, you can know this is what Varamihir will also say, that by the uses of astrology, I am just right, that is in I think Brihat Samhita. I will get the shloka. Astrology indicates the karma. No. Astrology indicates the result of the karma that you are going to get in this life. It doesn't indicate you the karma which was done. Let me understand something. I did a karma in this life. That was a bad karma, say. But I also did the good karma in this life as well. And there was a good karma from previous lives also. In the next life, when I will go, both of the bad karma that I did, the repent that I had for that karma, and the good karmas that I did in the previous lives, all of them will get added together to make the chart for the next life. This is like the CBSE grading pattern. You get 60% out of, you get 60 numbers out of 100. But in the result, extracurricular activities, games participation, etc., everything should be added. So the astrologer who is saying that your grandfather in 1950 committed a crime, you should ask him that my grandfather lived up to 1970, and after 50, in the next 30 years, he must have done something related to that, at least repent. If he divorced his wife in 1950, then in the next 30 years, at least he suffered the separation. He must have cried 1-2 times. Where is the result of that karma? Should not you take that into account as well? You should take that into account as well, right? When you take that into account, what is the uses of merely looking at that karma? This is what is indicated by flower in the shloka. Flower means how the karma is going to manifest is seen from this horoscope. That's why astrology is given importance, because you know how it is going to manifest. And by taking yourself above the standards, you can. For an example, a debilitated Venus doesn't particularly indicate that I have beaten my wife in the previous life. It only does indicate that my karma is so that I am going to suffer in, say, marriage. Now, here, because I know how it is going to work, I have a choice either to indulge in it or not. If Narayana blesses me, I will choose not to indulge. If Narayana doesn't blesses me, I will go with Maya and will choose to go in this world and will get the punishment for the karma. So let have this thing very clear that the chart will never indicate the original karma that you did. It will only indicate how the karma is going to manifest. That's why the example of a blossomed flower is taken. That's why the word kusum the word kusum is taken, the word pushpa is not taken, or any other word used to indicate flower. There are n number of words in Sanskrit used to denote a flower. And let me tell you, I have learned from the Parampara in Kerala, and there is something called Porkali. And when you take the shloka in Porkali, this is the debate. You know what is Porkali? Let me tell you. Porkali is a debate on every aspect. So there will be a question. There will be a question that why you are saying that this person should not marry. An astrologer will give the shloka because he is having Saturn under Sun. Someone will ask why you say that he should not get married. The debate will start from that. And two astrologers will debate. One will say, because according to Brajjataka chapter 21, shloka 3, if Venus is under Papakartari, marital life will be bad, hence he should not marry. Another person will give the shloka. How do you conclude that it is just indicating the future karma and not indicating what he did in the previous life? What is the reason? So that I should say that Venus in Papakartari indicates in this life he will get the bad karma and doesn't indicate that he did the bad karma in the previous life. And then the prime astrologer have to quote the shloka. And then the other astrologer will again argue why the word uses of the word kusum is there and why the word pusp is not used there. And then you have to again counter why it is used. This is what happens in Porkali. This is the way we learn in the Parampara. And someone who haven't learned from Parampara, doesn't matter he did astrology for 7 generations or 20. If the Parampara is not there, doesn't matter. You do it for 100 generations. Getting my point? The first debatable point is why the word kusum. And I also told you the thing. Venus is debilitated. What is the prediction written for a Venus in Papakartari? Your wife will die in this life or in previous life. If it is indicative of past life karma, then why you use it for prediction? You should use it for analysis only, isn't it? But my friends, in classics, predictions are written. Analysis is not written. For this simple reason, we just have to look carefully. This is the first Porkali debate I had. And I was slammed. I ended up crying the first day. Gurudev was like, do you want to take part in Porkali? And I was like, oh, I am from North India, very good astrologer. And they slammed me up. I started with Gananam Tom Ganpatim. He said, why Tom? Why not Twa? And I had to answer him. And I had no answer. Why Tom, not Twa? Why the matra of A is not there? What does it mean? Making a YouTube channel doesn't make you a scholar. No matter you have 20,000 viewers or 50,000. Scholarly things are entirely different. So the sweet, undecaying, sweet blossomed flower. Undecaying. What does undecaying mean? If you don't face the karma, if you don't face the consequences of the karma is not going to end. This is why undecaying. The karma is not going to decay. It is not the vegetable that you took from the market and you keep it 4 days and it will get lost. No. You cannot run away. You have to have it. Karma is there, you have to have it. This is undecaying. You do a remedy and don't get a result in this life. Doesn't matter. In next life, it will be there. Next to next life, it will be there. This is undecaying, non-decaying. It will not decay. Sweet smelling tama flowers. Sweet smelling flowers. A manuscript of Brihat Parashar that I saw in Asiatic Society Library, Calcutta, had a special shloka written. Bhogesu nakshatrani, enjoys the fruit of nakshatra. The planets enjoy the fruits of nakshatra. Planets enjoy the karma in the nakshatra. Once again, hinting at that the results shown by the planet is something that the person have to enjoy, have to go through. No escape. This is not a video game where you can use Control plus Alt 4 and quit the game. This is life, with or without wife. Right? Are scattered here and there on this path. Right? Next three shlokas are Prajapatya Chatuspadyasteshu Vay Saptavimshatihi Agananti Tas Sambuya Navabirnavabhi Padeg Rashiyo Nam Giyante Tadavahan Bhumiyah Dwadasha Vadikerasya Prananam Saptavimshati Satanyashto Sastram Cha Kalahasta Ihiliptika Lipta Viliptikas Cheti Sangya Visangpriyate. Now comes to serious Jyotish. The first 6 slokas are gone. 27 daughters of Prajapati Daksha. 27 daughters. All the calculations mentioned will be 27 nakshatras only. The first shloka talks about 27 nakshatra. Done for the rest of the class. 27 nakshatra is to be used. Mind something. Whenever any classic talks of 27 nakshatra, your ears should be alert that he will talk about Rashi. You will give more importance to Rashi. 28 nakshatra is a nakshatra based astrology. 27 nakshatra is just to make the order uniform with respect to Rashis. So whenever the mention of 27 nakshatra will come, be very sure that now the classic is going to give the maximum importance on Rashi. And now every shloka in the classic should be seen with respect to Rashi and not with respect to nakshatra. Manish ji, you want to ask something?
हाँ, एक सवाल था। सवाल ये था कि मतलब मैंने किसी कॉन्क्रीट या ऑथेंटिक सोर्स से नहीं पढ़ा, इसलिए हाँ, मगर जो मैंने सुना कि जैसे महाभारत काल से पहले जो राशियों का एस्ट्रोलॉजी में यूज हुआ वो महाभारत काल या उसके आसपास से हुआ, उसके पहले ज्यादातर वो नक्षत्र बेस्ड एस्ट्रोलॉजी थी। क्या ये सही है या गलत?
हाँ, एकदम अति उत्तम, बहुत बढ़िया है।
तो
the concept of weekday and the concept of Rashi came 500 years after Mahabharata. But let me not forget that Mahabharata comes in Treta Yuga and he comes in Satya Yuga. So once the annihilation and the change of the Yuga happens, the knowledge is lost and rediscovered again. So Veda comes from a different era. Mahabharata comes from a different era. This is Mahabharata comes from the last the Kalpa just before Kali Yuga.
Right.
That comes from 3 Kalpa behind that. So this is the basic thing. But this point you have heard very right. It is first proposed by Sankara Balakrishna Dikshit in 1837 in his book Bharatiya Jyotish, published from Pune.
इसका मतलब मैं ये मानूं कि राशि का इस्तेमाल सतयुग में भी था, बट दैट वो लॉस्ट हो गया और उसके बाद वो वापस से उसको रिडिस्कवर किया गया।
महाभारत Kuru Desha is Kazakhstan area. Kauravas rule that. Gandhari comes from Gandhar. Gandhar comes from Kazakhstan area. So he is specifically talking of a period when the devastation happened and people started tracking India, etc. The coming of Krishna in Mahabharata with respect of the shloka yada yada hi dharmasya glaner bhavati bharata pyuktanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham is indicative of the text that before the coming of Krishna, already much devastation have happened. That's why he's coming. If the knowledge is not being lost, what is the need for Vishnu to come? He will not come and will not disturb. Let me keep that fact in mind. And this is once again my personal opinion, no scholarly debate on this. Because then people will be like कि उस समय से अब तक पुस्तक कैसे बची रह गई सर, ये कैसे हो गया सर, वो कैसे हो गया सर, तो उसमें मेरा कोई डिबेट नहीं. My main point is there are always 2-3 opinions of people. One who will take it as one who will carry out the old opinion, one who will carry out the new opinion, one who will have the modern opinion, right? So my thing is this simple. And one more thing is Shankar Balakrishna Dikshit, who wrote this, talks about few references that he have checked. We can never be double sure of only that much references are present. What if after 10,000 years from now, a lost civilization is found out with 32 new books? So let me be free for every type of interpretation. Right. 27 daughters of Prajapati Daksha, all the principles in this classic will be based on Rashi principles only. What do I mean by Rashi principles only? The third house in this classic will be told as a house for sexuality. Because third Rashi is Mithuna. Concepts will be Rashi based. Is what I mean. I am giving you one of the biggest secret on how to decode a classic. How to get what he specifically wants to say, the author. Now he will tell you the alignment and the synchronization between a Rashi and the Nakshatra that I am talking since the Shloka 1. This is the point, right? I cannot say anything that is not supported by sages, right? So there can be one prime question that, sir, why you are saying Rashi and a Nakshatra is in a synchronization? What is my authority behind saying this? I should have an authority by the same sage. By the same author, I should have an authority. Krishna says, Maso aham marga sirsho aham. And many people are of the opinion, because Krishna says, Maso aham marga sirsho aham in the time of Krishna, the first Rashi was, the first Nakshatra was not Ashwini but Mrigashira. So why I am automatically supposing the fact that this classic or this era when the classic is written is also taking Ashwini as the first Nakshatra and Aries is the first Rashi. So here it is written that 27 daughters of Prajapati Daksha, having 4 padas each, trample on it. 27 daughters of Daksha Prajapati, having 4 legs, trample on it. Jump on the chakra of Vishnu, jumps on the discus of Vishnu. 27 nakshatras with 4 padas. 27 nakshatras all with 4 quarters, 4 legs, jump on this zodiac, jump on this wheel. So we get something very clear that there is a concept of 27 nakshatras and every nakshatra is divided into 4 quarters. I have a question here. Can nakshatras have more than 4 quarters? It is mathematics. Anything is possible. Maybe some course someday. Question everything is what Purgali taught me. The first day I cried, I got one lesson. Question everything. Before you say twa and tum, question it. You don't know. Sher ko kab sawa sir mil jaye. Question everything. A group of 9 padas is called a Rashi. This sloka is my authority, why I am taking them in synchronization. There are 27 daughters of Daksha Prajapati. Let me tell you something. I think I should name this classes as decoding classics. There are 2 opinions to look at nakshatras. Daughters of Daksha, wives of Moon. Classic will use any reference. What is the difference between them? I told you, first of all, whenever we see that the mention of 27 nakshatras are there, according to the tradition, my tradition, not Kerala tradition. Whenever I will say tradition, take my tradition. Whenever I will say according to Kerala tradition, take Kerala tradition. I am learning to both the traditions, right? My family tradition as well as the Kerala tradition. So whenever it is Kerala tradition, I will specifically mention Kerala tradition. Whenever I say according to tradition, take it as my family tradition. According to tradition, how to decode the classics? When 27 nakshatras are told, that means the classic is Rashi based, point one. Second rule from the tradition, because you are going to, well, I am teaching you, let me tell you things from the Parampara as well. Daughters of Daksh Prajapati, opinion 1. Wives of Moon, opinion 2. When the classic will use the word daughters of Daksh Prajapati, the nakshatras are seen as a divinity. Hence, the lords of the nakshatra, Usha, Bhagan, Tashta, Aryama, Aditi, Yama, Agni will be prominent. When they are seen as wives of moon, the character of the nakshatra, Andamanda, Kana, Sulochan, Antrang, Bahirang, Kul, Akul, Kul, Akul, that basic signification will be prominent. First chapter in every classic and the first 10-15 shlokas are only intended to hint you at how to decode the classics. Remember what I always say, that sages always had a tension in their mind, that we have to give the knowledge and the knowledge should not go in the hands of unworthy. So they decoded it as such that if you are not from the tradition, it will not speak to you. That's why Guru is called Guru, the one who takes you out of the darkness. What is a simple shloka for you, for my Guru, it will be a debate for 3 days. There are two opinions, right? Daughter of Daksh Prajapati and wives of moon. What's the difference? There should be. It is technical language, not poetry. In poetry, you can use any word anywhere. You know what my Guru always said to me? When you do poetry, you can say your face resembles moon. When you come to a technical subject, the lady will write, do you think I have pimples? Because moon certainly have pimples. There are spots on moon. So there's a difference between a technical subject and poetry. Right? Those areas where Ashwini, etc. nakshatras step with their 9 feet each are called Rashi. In the complete zodiac, the 27 daughters of Daksh Prajapati, one with 4 legs, jump over it. The 9 legs together form one duration of time, and that duration makes a Rashi. It is written in the shloka itself. Agnanti tas chambuya navbhirnavvipadeha rashiyo namagiyante tadavahan bhumya. The place in the sky where their 9 feet fall is the area which is named as Rashi. So you the shloka, which is specifically targeted at saying that nakshatra is the base and Rashi is just a division interdependent on nakshatra. And this is my prime question. I have been asking it in the astrological circle since last 4 years. If nakshatras are so important, why sages haven't given any techniques on nakshatras? If it is so important, they should give or not. But they are not giving. Why? They don't know nakshatras, only you know. And this is what is happening. Tell me. Do you think that sages never knew it and I got this divine knowledge? Do you think so? You should not think such. Right? Why? My answer to my question is very simple. With the uses of Rashi, Nakshatra becomes all inclusive. When I tell you, when I say you and your family, should I specifically mention the name of your child? No, that comes in the family. Getting my point? When a higher technique such as Rashi is present there, which is all inclusive of a nakshatra, what is the use of using a nakshatra? Is there any uses? No. That's why sages don't give much importance to nakshatras, because it is all inclusive in Rashi. They form 12 signs in 27 nakshatras, whose duration is 1800 minutes. This is a very basic calculation, and keep it in your mind always. This is the base for divisional charts. He already said that the 27 daughters of Daksh Prajapati, having 4 legs each, jump over the zodiac, and the area where 9 legs fall is the duration of a Rashi in that space-time quantum. Now, what is the length of that space-time quantum? That is 1800 minutes. What is 1800 minutes? What is 1800 minutes? In a Rashi, how many degrees are there? 30 degrees. 1800.
30 degrees one Rashi, sir.
1800 divided by 30 is equal to 60. One Rashi, 60 minutes, this is 1800 kalas. Getting my point? 1800 kalas is the span of a sign. Rashi Amsha Kala. One Rashi is 30 degree. 30 degree multiplied by 60. 1 degree, how many minutes are there? 60. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, you know it, right? One Rashi 30 degree. 1 degree 60 minutes. 30 multiplied by 60 is equal to 1800. This is what he wants to say. The duration of a Rashi is 1800 and it is not changeable under any circumstance. A Rashi cannot be 1799 or 1801. It can only be 1800. That is a fixed basic thing. Hence, the concept of a sign being long, small, etc., is not taken up by the sage, because the Rashi Chakra is not on the earth. In the previous shloka, if I am permitted to take you there, it was written that this wheel of zodiac is not constituted of earth, water, fire, or even wind. It is not made of the Panchatattva. So the logic of saying that one Rashi will be this much in Europe and this much in America and this much in Austria and this much in Greenland and this much in Iceland is not valid, because the zodiac wheel is not on the earth, it is on the sky. The sky, which is not affected by any of the Panchatattva, hence the duration always remains constant. It is just your perspective. I am facing north. Can I say, sorry, you should question this. East direction is a fixed direction, or any direction where I face should be taken as east. My face cannot change the direction. There is no concept of my east. No. There cannot be my north. My north can only be the concept when I am the center of the world, which certainly I am not. So the concept of a Rashi being greater than 30 degrees or less than 30 degrees can only be accepted when Earth is the center of the zodiac. But that is not true. Earth is not the center of the zodiac. The center of the zodiac is Sun. So you should not calculate the span of a Rashi from the center of the Earth. You should calculate the center of the Rashi from the span of. You should not calculate the span of the Rashi from the center of the Earth, but you should calculate the span of the Rashi from the center of the Sun. There is one house division based on this. What it's called? I think periphery it is called. Based on one sign being long or small for different latitude and longitude of the world. But that is unacceptable because the changing duration of the Rashi based on the different areas of the earth cannot be accepted because the zodiac which is being talked about in astrology is not based on earth. It is beyond the sky and everything. It is something which should be measured from the center of the sun and not the earth. Sun is the center, not the earth. Right? Earth rotates around the sun. That is a basic things that we learn in astronomy. Now the last thing. Tatanyashto sastram cha kalasta ihliptikaha lipta vilipta kascheti sangya visang priyate. They can. What can? The 1800 degrees can be further classified into lipta and vilipta. It is a mathematical term. But with an importance. He says that one Rashi is 1800 minutes. He don't say one Rashi is 30 degrees. Why? This is shloka, as we tell my interpretation. This shloka is also indicative of Navamsha being the prime chart. He is not talking about 30 degrees as the prime division, specifically for this classic. Some classics will take Rashi as the prime chart. But according to my personal opinion, I will not use the name of the Parampara. I will say my personal opinion. The users of the word Kala first. He is going to make a further division in the shloka. He himself made a further division. He started with 1800 Kala and made a further division into Lipta and Vilipta. When he is going to make a further division, why he is taking the minutes as the prime portion? He must have taken degree as the prime portion. But just his indication of taking minute as the prime portion is indicative of the fact that the classic is taking Navamsha as the prime divisional chart. Point 1. Point 2, this part, they can further be classified into Lipta and Vilipta. Lipta Viliptikascheti Sangya Visang Priyate. This specific line is also supportive of that n number of divisions of a sign. N number of divisions of a sign can be made anytime. Talking about the concept of divisional charts. That n number of divisions of a Rashi can be made. Rashi can be divided into 2 to make Hora, 3 to make Drikkana, 9 to make Navamsha, 10 to make Dashamsha, and so on and so forth. It's indicative of that. Gurudev have given how much is one lipta, etc. So we are not going to this thing. He also gives a very important thing about what Aryabhatta says, etc. Now, he starts with Aries. Up to this shloka 9, he told all basics, etc. Now he will start with Aries. I will read the Aries shloka for you to contemplate. Agreshu esu nishtati lohi mansavrate puman Purna yurasimunneti chatushringam hiranyam Unmadishura vishtaiti chatuspata krura ucchatayah Istona namadipam daksho yam jumshih prayashu graha Somdamshim Prodiktani Chana Datti Bubukshitaha Prabhachindi Samasasti Rajanyomusulayudaha Akramati Balodrikta Eko Romavatim Purim Navrat Sondra Kashmira Madrang Kalingagan Ehni Supitinaktaschaha Jagrati Praharabho Pradamam Pansimansaschaha Desas Sadharano Mataha. Long shloka. It is five shlokas clubbed together, 5 shlokas for Aries only. My primary reason behind taking this classic is that he talks about all the Rashis in the utmost detail. Most detailed explanation on Rashis I have seen in any classic. That's why I have taken that. And I wish to complete, as I told you in the starting itself, that the 10 chapters of the text is divided into nature of sign, nature of planet, sign planet result, house planet result, special combination, impregnation, birth, longevity, female horoscope, Trika. The 2 chapters of nature of sign and nature of planet I tended to completely cover in the 1 month free session, so that your basics at least gets all right. Tomorrow onwards, we will start with Aries. Any questions? Don't hesitate. Ask simply. Always remember the Chinese proverb. One who asks in a class is a fool for a time. One who keeps quiet is fool for a lifetime.